lesson 4 here, the Allied victory. Spoiler if you didn't know, the Allies do win World War II. Right, so the U.S. is now going to get involved in this battle against Germany. We're going to send our troops to North Africa to fight back. The Germans, the Italians, they have conquered a lot of this North African territory for resources, taking it from the British, taking it from the French, most of the British. But we're going to go in and try to get that territory back. Okay, so we're going to start our effort there. We're going to move through with Dwight D. Eisenhower. Anybody ever heard that name before? Eisenhower? What is he known as? What's he famous for? Anybody know? Is that one of the presidents? Right? He's a U.S. president. Okay, but before he was a president, he was a general in the military. He's going to lead that battle there in North Africa. Right, the Germans still focused on taking the Soviet Union's resources, right, and trying to control that region and control the Balkans. They're going to capture the Soviet oil fields there between the Balkans and the Soviet Union. At the Battle of Stalingrad, the German troops are going to conquer or capture the city before end up surrendering after a long battle. Right, so they take the city, but then continue fighting, and then need to surrender and pull out of that. Once the United States and the British have taken control of North Africa, our strategy to get up into Europe from that point is to go across the Mediterranean Sea into Italy. Okay, Italy's right there across the Mediterranean Sea from North Africa. Okay, so the British and the U.S., they're going to land there in Sicily and capture Sicily back from the Axis powers, from the Italians in 1943. Mussolini's going to lose power. So the United States and Britain are going to gain control of that southern portion of Italy, but the Germans are going to capture and gain control and control the northern portion of Italy. Okay, so Mussolini and the dictator there in Italy loses power. Italy gets in a sort of split. Germany takes control of that fascist northern side, and the Allies have control of the southern side. All right, so the Allies are going to continue to fight Germany there in Italy until the war ends. Now, just like World War I, World War II is a total war. Right? It's going to require all of the resources, right, that these countries can acquire or use. Right? So we're going to see, right, 17 to 18 million U.S. workers, right, many of them women, right, making weapons. People at home, they are facing shortages, food shortages, consumer goods shortages. We're going to see a lot of propaganda used at this time, right? The British are creating a lot of propaganda, right? Saying obviously British good, Nazis bad. The U.S. is doing the same thing. Germany's obviously doing the same thing. Nazis good, Allies bad. Okay, so there's propaganda all over the place, trying to gain and gather and keep that war support, right? You've got to have that support of the citizens, right? Anytime there's a war. Once you lose the support of the citizens, it's real hard to stay in war. Japanese Americans at this point, they face a lot of prejudice. It was a bad time in the U.S. For kind of how the Japanese Americans were treated. Obviously, the Japanese bombed Pearl Harbor. Okay, so the U.S. citizens back at home, they see a Japanese person, right? They immediately associate that with the propaganda of the Axis powers being bad, Germany being bad, Japan being bad, right? There's a lot of fear. Japanese Americans are going to be placed in internment camps, which are like, kind of like jail or like a holding camp, basically, right? Until things get sorted out with the Japanese in the war, right? The army is going to take the Japanese Americans and put them all in one place and make sure none of them are, fighting on the wrong side of the war, right? They would do that in 1942. And then there's D-Day here. So I'm going to pull up a map in a little bit later today and show y'all how this operation went down. This is the D-Day invasion. This is one of the most famous battles or days here of World War II. Losing my voice, hang on. Right, so at this point, right, remember the Germans, they have conquered France, they control the territory there in France. Right, the Allies, us, Britain, and what's left, there was some French support that had made its way over into Britain. We are going to use deception to confuse the Germans. Okay, so D-Day, June 6, 1944, Operation Overlord. That is this plan to invade France and take this control back from Germany. Okay, the Allied forces. We are going to, hang on, we'll write on the board. I'm going to go ahead and show you. Very bad drawing here. Okay, this is France. Okay, Germany's over here. They've controlled all this. You've got Britain, you've got the UK right here. This is where they are. Remember, they're islands off the coast over here. Our plan is to invade the beaches over here. All right, this is where we want to send the ships over, invade the beach right here. Right from here, we hopefully can spread out and conquer France. Paris is like right here. We want to get there back to the capital city and gain control of that. That's going to be a big help. Okay, so what happened was there's a bunch of beaches across right through here. Okay, the Allies, they are going to intentionally leak messages to the Germans. Right, the Germans are going to think that they stumbled across our messages and they found them. Right, oh, we got them. Right, so what we intentionally leak to the Germans is that we're planning an attack, right, like here and here. Okay, so the Germans, they're going to send a whole bunch of troops into this region waiting for us to attack. However, we told them that intentionally because we're planning to attack over here. Okay, the Germans are still going to have this whole coast guarded because they've got to, right? But the big part of the army was set up over here in this region where we told them we were going to attack, but we attacked over here. Okay. This battle is going to be, there's some pictures I'm going to show y'all of D-Day. Lost a lot of people. Basically, there's like a big cliff up on top, right? Big drop off, and then it goes into the beaches. Our ships pull up on the beach. They've got machine guns and like bunkers and stuff all set up on the top, and they're just raining machine guns down at us as we're just running across the beach. Okay, but we end up sending enough troops to overload those bases and take control of that region and be able to have a spot to land the army, right? The Allied armies there in France. So it would be a successful operation, the most important operation that got us to the long-term victory there of World War II. So once we've landed, now the U.S., the British forces are able to advance onto Germany from the west. The Soviets are able to push in from the east. And just like World War I, the Germans did not want a war on two sides. Guess what they got again in World War II? A war on two sides. All right? And we basically get the exact same ending as World War I, with both sides closing in on Germany. Germany's forced to retreat. The Soviets are going to end up surrounding their city there of Berlin in April 1945. It's at this point that Hitler is going to commit suicide. And May 9th, 1945, Germany officially surrenders, marking VE Day. Right? That is Victory in Europe Day. President Roosevelt died in April, right before the war concluded. Right? So he missed the successful ending there of World War II. Harry Truman is going to become president at that time. All right, so Truman, now the president, he is going to turn his attention to Japan, right? So Germany has surrendered, right? VE Day, or Victory in Europe Day, has been marked. We still have a problem though, and that is Japan. We're still at war with Japan. Truman, his advisors are warning him that if we were to actually send our full military, like on the ground, boots on the ground in in Japan, right, we'd lose a lot of people, right? It'd be a bloodbath. Right? We may win, but it's going to cost us way too many lives. Okay? So there's going to be an alternate plan, and that plan is atomic bombs. So the Manhattan Project is a secret program that was set up by the U.S. government to develop these, obviously, super bombs. And we're going to end up dropping 2 of these bombs on 2 Japanese cities. So we have Hiroshima on August 6, 1945. About 75,000 people are going to die immediately. Much more later from cancer and radiation poisoning, things like that. And then we're going to have Nagasaki 3 days later, August 9th. 70,000 people immediately die from that one. A bunch more die from radiation poisoning and cancer and things like that. And then fast forward about a month, September 2nd, 1945, we see the Japanese surrender as a result of that. So I'm going to show you all some pictures of that now. Several of the things we talked about, I'll show you some pictures of. And then we're going to watch part 2 of the World War II video that we started yesterday.